a stay-at-home dad, watching Disney movies he never had. His daughter digs through all the VHS, crushing the classics in a princess dress. Informed like Scuttle, Kurt's got your ticket, making it real like Jiminy Cricket. Most are off the Captain Hook, but if the Tweedledum, he'll be taking more shots than Bambi's mom. Leaves him raised like Simba, or cracked like the beach dishes. He'll show you a whole new world, you won't need 3 wishes. Stay at home, Disney Dad.
Our march through the classics continues with the original That Darn Cat. You might remember we watched the 1997 version a year or two ago, but now we go back to the original 1965 version. We start with That Darn Cat antagonizing a bulldog set to jazz music, and I finally found visuals that can actually make jazz music tolerable. This is part of the Haley Mills collection, if anyone's keeping score at home. The song starts, "As the city sleeps, he creeps." And say I love that. That doesn't make me feel good. Credits montage to the cat causing trouble in the hood. Hold up, another quote from this song. "Every nook and cranny and garbage canny." How did they afford the Beatles to write the lyrics for this movie? Based on the book Undercover Cat by the Something Brothers, we see a newspaper headline about bank robbery and 2 brothers, and the bank teller is still missing. The robbers took her captive. Terrifying. The cat follows this guy who takes a newspaper, and the jazz spy music kicks in. He is definitely one of the bad guy robber kidnappers. He returns to this apartment with his partner, and they're reading the newspaper articles about themselves and the heist and the kidnapping, and one guy asks the other guy if that turns him on. It's going to be ironic if this movie is called That Darn Cat and neither of these guys. No, okay, whatever, it doesn't matter. Wow, they have the bank teller tied up and gagged at their place. The one guy winds up to punch her, and the other guy stops him and says, "Hey, don't!" Then he strokes her face and says, "She's been a good girl. So far." I don't like this. I don't like these implications. I don't like what's happening, Disney. They tell her, "We're going to hold you up here for a few days, see? And we probably won't kill you, but we might." They untie her and tell her to cook. Awesome. The cat watches this all go down, jumps up in the window, startles them, but then it jumps inside and takes a bite out of the raw steak. The little guy thinks cats are lucky. They start whispering about the captive bank teller, and they're like, "Keep her thinking. We're going to cut her loose, but really, we'll kill her in a couple days." Wow. She carves "help" into her watch and then puts it around the cat's neck and pushes him back outside. They pull a gun on her, thinking she tried to escape. They put the gun right to her face. Look at this. This is dark for a Disney movie. It's not something you see in cinema anymore, especially in kids movies. The cat returns home with the "help" watch around. We see the end of a date, and this guy's an obvious bumbler, and she's romantic. They discuss surf movies, and she's like, "They're all the same." And he's like, "Gee willikers, aren't they swell?" Across the street, some old couple are watching them through the window, and the wife is going nuts that they went into the house together. She's like, "Someone needs to keep tabs on those Randall girls." Her husband takes out his hearing aids so he doesn't have to listen to her nonsense. Relationship goals. Across the street, in the car, it's Patty and her boyfriend. Her folks are in Venice, and the cat just came back. On the news, Patty sees the kidnapped teller, and she knows that's Miss Miller. This is a surfer town, and the surf is going to be great tomorrow. Dumb boyfriend sees the watch on the cat, but doesn't think anything of it. Patty's sister arrives home now from her date, and her beau's pressing up against her, looking for a goodbye kiss she doesn't want to give. But then, swerve, she actually does want to kiss her. She closes her eyes and goes for a kiss, and then he kisses her on the forehead and leaves. What is happening? Roles are reversing. I can't keep track. The cat's name is DC, and he stole the older sister Ingrid's boyfriend prize duck. This scene goes on for way too long. Eventually, the sisters find the watch. Jenny takes it to the FBI, and hey, it's the Herbie guy. It's Dean Jones. We are off. Instant classic. This movie just went up 5 points. Love this guy. Love Dean Jones. She shows him the wristwatch, and it doesn't quite spell help, but the teller was wearing a wristwatch when she was abducted. Could it be her watch? Dean's superior thinks there's something to this, so he sends Dean to her house to set up surveillance, and he's allergic to cats. Achoo, achoo, hilarious. They have to fingerprint the cat, and that scene goes on for 10 bumbling minutes. The surfer guy boyfriend shows up. His name is Canoe, people. The boyfriend's name is Canoe. This guy's name is Canoe. Anyway, Patty, she pretends to be sick. I can't see you today, Canoe, to get rid of him. Back at the FBI, he's briefing or debriefing, whichever it is. He's debriefing his crew how to follow this cat. Back at the apartment, they openly talk about killing the kidnapped teller and dumping the body. Oh, it's been like half an hour of this movie as they follow this cat around the city and he leads them to an apartment. I remember this scene from the 1997 remake. It's actually kind of funny. The cat leads everyone in a big circle back to the original house with like Dean Jones and the girl. I thought this was going to be the end, though. It feels like this movie's been going on for a while. I've lost all concept of time for that darn cat. Dean wants one more shot, and as Captain, okay, you can have one more shot. The sisters argue, and Patty says, people will talk, because the other night there were 5 FBI men agents in my bedroom. Ingrid says, she'd rather people think that instead of thinking she's the town's cold potato. Ingrid goes on a date, and the other girl gets locked in a closet, but the cat is on the move. Dean gets the hinges off the closet, and the door falls forward onto him with Patty, and I'm sure he was like, why don't we do another take without the door? We have some comic relief as the bald drive-in owner and his employee, and they jump from like car to car like ninjas trying to get a hold of the cat. Everyone's after this darn cat. Canoe calls his girlfriend Patty a drag, and that's amazing. Gonna call my wife a drag when she's, being a drag. Gosh, Patty, you don't have to be such a drag, says Canoe. The agent is reassigned because nothing's happening with this case and the cat, but then things start happening between the agent and Ingrid. The next day, Patty's boyfriend puts on a disguise and follows her to see what's up. We meet this guy from Babes from Toyland, maybe. Back to the kidnappers. The one comes back and he's like, I found a place to stash the body, see? And she's like, please don't kill me. And then she starts the place on fire to sound the alarm, and it doesn't work, and they put it out. Now they are going to kill her. Canoe dresses like he's on a safari and continues to be undercover. The nosy neighbor couple from the start of the movie storm out of the house because there's something fishy going on, and she won't stick her head in the sand like an ostrich, she says. And her husband says, it might improve her appearance if she does. She runs out, and the husband calls the cops and says, there's a prowler in the area dressed like a woman, and she's dangerous. So the police nab his wife, and they're like, this disguise isn't fooling anyone, sir. Look at your face. You're a dude. No woman is that ugly. 1965, folks. Canoe falls off the fence, bounces off a mini trampoline, and lands in a pool. Everyone is on the move. Now, one kidnapper shows back up with some towels, and this reminds me of that scene from Last House on the Left where they take the girls out on the carpet. He's going to the bedroom to shoot her. Disney, this is dark. This is dark for 1965. The cat also has a microphone on it now, like they bug the cat, and it runs into the apartment with a microphone, and Dean hears the plan to murder the bank teller, so he's like, there's no time. The cat jumps on the one guy's back, and then they find out that the cat is bugged just as Dean knocks on the door and is like, I lost my cat. And the guy's like, we were wondering whose cat that belongs to. Patty follows him up to the apartment door, and she's listening from the outside, and the bad guy's like, look, bud, I don't think you have a wife, and I don't think this is your cat. Then Patty knocks on the door and walks in. It's like, oh, dear husband, you found our cat. And the robbers aren't dumb. They're not buying this. So there's a change of plans. Now, they're going to leave the bank teller there, and they're going to take Patty hostage as they make their getaway. Patty then straight up just throws DC the cat at the guy with the gun's face. And then a fight breaks out as Dean Jones does what Dean Jones does and starts kicking some ass. Have I mentioned I love this actor? Dean's schooling the big one as Patty fights with the little one who tries to scoop up all the cash that's spilled out of the suitcase, but then DC the cat trips him as he makes his break for it, and he spirals head over heels down the fire escape while the money flies everywhere, and I assume he breaks his neck and murmurs, that darn cat. Is that what DC stands for? Oh my, okay. We go to the end. The sisters are reading about everything that happened in the newspaper, and Gregory, this guy, shows up for Patty's older sister, Ingrid, and she walks right by him and gets into the car with Dean Jones. You bet she does. Dean is going to be 53 in her Herbie in record time. This is the face of a closer right here, folks. Canoe then drives up and rear-ends Gregory's car by accident. This poor guy. Canoe apologizes to Patty. He's all messed up, and he admits he was jealous. She's like, that's nonsense, is it? This movie's 60 years old, and I'm kind of low-key worried my wife would sleep with Dean Jones if she had the chance. Look at this guy. He's like male Julie Andrews here. There's just something classy about these old-time movie stars that's gone. That's gone, and it's never coming back. Anyway, that's where we get the end here. There's a remix of That Darn Cat, the music, as we fade to black, and that's all she wrote. Was this one better than the remake? That's like asking, would all our wives sleep with Dean Jones if they could? The answer, of course, is yes.
What do you think?
What we have is a concern about Curtis Anderson. His interviewing style is not the best. His personal appearance is not the best. I was wondering if the man has some kind of a hold over the channel that he's allowed to be employed for so long with the standards of journalism and personal appearance that he has. Thank you.